Hi, everyone. I hope you guys can hear me. Hello, hello. Welcome to the 1212 portal and the new moon in Sagittarius, but an energy. It's right before Mercury retrograde. I honestly feel like Mercury retrograde is a little overreactive a little bit with all the information out there that can be overwhelming. One of the reasons why I don't talk about it as much on my YouTube channel, people ask. So I can't wait. I'm just so excited that I get to celebrate this 1212 portal with you guys. Come on here. Welcome. If this is your first time, hello, I'm Shika. And I'm a medicine woman. And my intention here is really to work with the moon, work with nature, work with the elements, and bring community. That's the biggest thing for me in my heart that lights me up. If it's your first time, please let me know in the comments with a little rainbow emoji. If you're watching the replay on YouTube, I'm on YouTube and TikTok right now. So TikTok fam, let me know as well how you guys are feeling. Today's my birthday. Happy birthday. Happy Earth Day. Happy portal. Grand rising, grand rising. Awesome. Happy birthday to all the souls that their birthday is. All the Sag fam. Sending you so many blessings. First timers, welcome. If it's your first time, rainbow emoji, sun, moon, rising, even replay. Put that in. So I have a huge announcement, but first I want to do a little reading with you guys because I love hanging out with you. I love being able to connect. I'm going to just make my screen a little bit bigger because I'm getting older. No, but I want to be able to see what you guys are saying. Okay. So yeah, I'm really excited. Today's the Sagittarius new moon. It's happening on December 12th, this day, 3 days before the day of and 3 days after it affects us. It's a very special reading because if you don't follow me on Instagram or on TikTok, you would not know that I am currently in the Caribbean with my family. I'm going to be here. I'm not taking any one-on-one clients right now. However, I do have my waiting list for the new year, so you guys can check that out in the link tree down below, as well as other offerings that are there. But to be able to share this deep, potent announcement with you guys at the end of this video in a space where the lands mean so much to me and the presence of ancestors and guides. Yeah, I'm glowing, huh? This is me at my prime in my home. Like this is like where I feel the best. Yeah, so I'm just like so excited to just like shower all that good energy and sun and beauty and warmth to you guys from here, as we deep dive in ceremony together. So let's start off by just seeing how you guys are feeling. If you haven't checked out the energy update for the Sagittarius new moon, go check it out after this video replay. You guys can have that in your like rouster after. And then I also have a meditation that you can do 3 days before the day of and 3 days after. This one is like super cosmic because that's what was channeling. So you're going to receive light language codes. You're going to receive some deep medicine and really understanding the playfulness and the energy of this 1212 portal, and also the new moon in Sag. The fact that we have them crossed over the last new moon of the year, like the energy is feeling good. Okay. So yeah, second thing I want to share with you guys as well is if you are interested in other spaces and you want to go deeper beyond this beautiful screen that we've all met on, you can check in my links for medicine retreats that are happening. They're going to be like, I'm so excited. They're in March and April, Goddess Retreat, Ancestral Retreat. Medicine, we're going to be sitting with Cambo. We're going to be sitting with herbal medicine and the beautiful mushroom medicine. So if that's something that you feel called to, you can go check that out. And then we also have one-on-ones, my 3-month and 6-month container. I only take like maybe one person at a time. So if you want to apply, you can. And, 1 to 2 people that I take, people are already starting to apply. All that information is down below. And then the announcement, which I will share with you guys really soon. Okay. So that's all these things. Like, subscribe, all the things. You guys can do that. Feel what's good. Okay. So let's do a reading. I'm reading all your comments. I would say, like, for me, when I'm connecting with mushrooms, it's ceremonial. Like being in nature, being away from the screen, like being with yourself, right? Like I want to do a full video on mushrooms because I feel like so many people have found the beautiful magic that mushrooms have offered, but making sure that you're doing it ceremonial or you have guidance with it. And that's why I love my retreats because, I've been working with mushrooms for many years, to be offering a safe container where people can sit with them in nature, off grid, like really connected. Like there's nothing that beats that. And they have such healing that can go beyond ancestral, that can go beyond the human. They're literally rewiring your brain, allowing you to receive the healing within yourself. So what's feeling good to me is like 100%. You don't want to be in this space while doing a medicine. Like, I always say intention is everything, not only with, medicine, but in general, like you should always be intentional with it, right? It's interesting. We're having this conversation with one of the questions you guys had on the Sagittarius new moon, because it's going to talk a little bit about that, a little like energy, a little update on that. But yeah, that was a good question. So yeah, definitely do that. My energy is bright. Yes. Oh my gosh, I love that you went all places. Yeah, it was a fun meditation to record. Okay, so we are going to start to pull some cards. Today I'm going to be going over just briefly because I've already did a full video on the Sagittarius new moon energy update, and I did a small video on TikTok, but I want to just like add a little bit more zhuzh, a little bit more stuff there for you guys. Welcome, Lindsay. Welcome all to the first timers. So nice to connect with you. So what I want you guys to do is just breathing. I always say what energy you put in, you get back. So TikTok, tapping the screen as I'm talking, and YouTube, liking the channel, liking the here, and also just like breathing into intention, like the energy that you're receiving. If you see this video after Sag new moon, it's still applicable. I believe that there's no time and energy. If you receive this message when it's meant, right? So just breathing into your body, and we're going to open space. And if you can close your eyes, bringing yourself to close your eyes. And as we open this space on this beautiful Sagittarius new moon, and this 1212 portal, calling in all benevolent guides, ancestors, and guardians into the space to support us with whatever messages are meant for us at this highest timeline. Creating this protected space for us in the collective. Thanking the beautiful lands here in St. Lucia that allow me to channel these deep messages, and all the guardians and animals, medicines that are here, that are weaving and speaking through me. I thank you. It is such an honor to be doing this on this Sagittarius new moon here. And giving gratitude to all the lands that you reside on, giving prayers and gratitude for that. The earth, the waters, the air, the fire, we thank you. Aho Makate. Thank you. Merci. Okay, take a deep breath in. Exhale out. And open your eyes. Okay, so feel like making some tea. You should. You should. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to be doing a collective reading and then the big announcement at the end. So for those who stay in tune in this portal, you will receive, the abundance will pour. Okay, so let's see what we need to know. I love that. It's like, what do I need to know? Oh, I'm like one step ahead of you. That's what Spirit's telling me. I trust that you always are. Okay. So we have, do you have all my decks out? Yes, I do. I just want to make sure, like, as soon as they come in, they're like, pick up this one, pick up that one. So I want to make sure all of the things are here. So the first thing we have for the Sagittarius new moon, and also this 1212 energy angel number medicine that is here, is the leg up. Okay. So Sagittarius energy is all about playfulness, fun, right? Bringing in that energy of play and fun and adventure within ourselves. I'm not saying that you need to book a flight right now and head out, but what I mean is like really asking yourself to bring in, like asking for help of how you can be in more ease and take an adventure with your soul in the astral projective spaces. So as you guys know, in the meditation I did, I talked a lot about, and I won't go too deep because this is all in the other video, about how we need to ask for help And our guides and our cosmic families are right around us, constantly supporting us at this time. You have 34. So 3 is the angel number leading at 4, which is awakening. So it's like knowing that your guide and angels taking you to this master space in another dimension to support you. And it's awakening something in you that you don't see just yet. It's actually helping you with something bigger. I want to read this card because you guys know when spirit's like, read the card so they can deep dive in it. We listen, right? So we have 34, receiving help, delegating authority, and independence. Okay, so let me give you an example that's coming up. You guys know that your girl over here has a lot of projects of supporting. I know in the next year, there's a lot of things that I'll be doing to help support. One of them being the announcement for today for you guys. And with that, it's like it takes a village to take care of a child. You've ever heard of this saying? If you know what I'm talking about, put a flame emoji and you resonate with this. It's the same thing in life. That saying doesn't change when you leave from childhood, right? It's not like because now you're a child, you have to grow up and do everything on your own. And sometimes our ancestors before will say that we have to do things our own. Now you're at this age. Now you got to. So then you put all this responsibility of like thinking that in order for me to succeed, in order for me to do something, I'm going to uncross my legs. I need to do it on my own. What this card is saying, leg up, is asking you to really tune in that the help you're asking for is a little bit different, right? Now, there are certain projects that you're doing that it's not about doing it alone and getting there and going through the hustle. And, that programming has transitioned at this different consciousness on the earth. Now the Sagittarius new moon and also this 12/12 portal is like this new beginning of being able to delegate where your strengths might be a little bit less, right? So for example, for me, like I know that there's certain things that I am not great at. I love to learn about it, but I need to get my ego out of the way and delegate that to my team, right? I didn't always have a team. I have the abundance now to support that. And not even that, I see the abundance of supporting my team. So what I'm asking for is asking yourself, whether it's raising a child, whether it's work, whether it's at home with your partner, where can you delegate for you to give responsibility or for asking for help so you can work as a team so you and that party can be happy? When we start to take everything, what happens is we start to get lost in what's happiness and what isn't our energy and what is our energy. And what the Sagittarius new moon is teaching you is like, what's in the way of my happiness and how can I start a new beginning of like creating that by saying, hey, can you help me with this? I saw this beautiful video about this couple that they do a podcast together. And what they were saying is like, I am so obsessed with the fact that we work together and that we want to build each other up. And my biggest thing I need to share with you is this new moon is saying that you're understanding that the power of help is building each other up. It's helping you as much as it's helping them. So you need to start looking at people aren't taking away from you. People aren't saying that you can't do anything from asking for help. That younger self of you that had to transition from child to preteen to teenager. Where did you feel like you couldn't ask for help? Where were you told to be delegated other things in your life? And you took that delegation as I got to do it on my own. There's a retransitioning that's happening. And the next card that comes in is the fortune cookie, what's not for me. Sorry, I'm like trying to put it on TikTok and also on YouTube so you both can see it. It's 6, right? There's like almost this big divide that's happening where the 12/12 portal is literally a blessing to have it on this new moon with the stars. Of course, spirit has aligned it, creator has created it that way, where you see there is a divide, right? And the fortune is saying that you're starting to notice that like when you ask for help, you're noticing what is and what isn't for you to your inner peace and your inner happiness. And that for you is like a big awakening and opening. It's very gentle, it's very soft, but it's like a recognition of like, oh, because this isn't for me, because I've asked for help for something, and I'm seeing it as supporting me and supporting everyone in a community perspective, this allowing this both in the seen and unseen of asking for help, but but also showing up where you are, your gifts are there. Because one of the biggest things one of my elders told me, and teachers said, that when you have gifts and you're so worried about messing it up, effing it up, and you're holding it in, that's actually being selfish, because your gifts can be helping and supporting the greater collective. That's also selfish to yourself. It's a mirror of selfishness, right? Because we are feeling like, our humans, like trying to control this happiness within us, that inner peace. We are choosing with free will that, okay, what is for me, I'm rejecting it because I'm not asking for the leg up within myself, of my higher self and my astral team. And I just want to reject it. So this has a lot to do with the energy of understanding a new relationship of the energy of giving and receiving during this 12/12 portal and the Sagittarius new moon. And it's very beautiful. Like, I just feel like this release, dissolving of energy. There's this like stress that has been let go, and you just see it. Like, there's no way of looking back on it. Now I want to show the 4 cards that came out. Serendipity, luck. So this 12/12 portal is a great day for manifestations. New moons are all about new beginnings. So this is a great day to manifest. I know you guys are going to ask me, Shika, how should I manifest for this new moon, Sagittarius? I stopped telling people specific rituals unless they come up to me, because for me, I feel like you need to figure out that manifestation isn't just scripting, isn't just affirmations, isn't just shadow work. It's understanding the evolution of you being able to activate your understanding of your words and how you see things, right? Because you're constantly activating it, right? So I'm seeing things as, you guys are my family, you guys are my community, right? That energy is transferring over, right? You're probably feeling the love of the energy. If I were to say otherwise, then you would feel another energy that's off, right? So serendipity is really saying that there is this like luck, there's this joy that's happening within yourself. And we need to tune into, like, our words is going to give us good karma if we are intentional with it on this day. What that means is like how we're embodying the manifestations of the words we spell into existence, because that's what we're doing. We're spelling something into existence. Me saying something is creating, and we do this all the time. Hey, how are you? What coffee do you want at the grocery store, or the coffee shop? You're constantly spelling something into reality. So what this is asking you is, with the leg up card, I'm going to go back to this. When you can ask for help, delegate things, make decisions. If you have a hard time making decisions, most likely your throat chakra is what you have to look at, and solar plexus. Those 2 chakras, one of them or both of them are imbalanced. That's usually a sign, because the solar plexus is all about self and making power, of like power to do things, make decisions without judgment. Throat is communication, feeling unsafe to communicate, feeling unwell to communicate, I guess you can say. I don't like the word unwell. I think it's more of like feeling like if I communicate, I will be scolded. Like, what is the belief if you communicate your deepest truth? And your deepest truth is allowing you to weave and move that happiness in there. And then also with it, what's not for you, when you can add those 2 cards together, what you find is serendipity, the luck that you've been looking for. And when you receive that luck, the following 3 things happen. Okay. Mending. There is this healing that happens through it, because now you're not only saying the affirmation, but you're feeling it, you're embodying it to the best of your existence every single day. I embody my deepest truth to the best of my existence every day. So it is. If you want to write that down, you can. That just came through. With the mending card, you're seeing the feminine weaving something together. This is representing either a relationship with a mother or daughter, or even just the feminine in general. Doesn't matter in gender of that space. And what I'm seeing is there's a weaving of feminine relations. When you're seeing the 52 of the mending, what it's telling you is that in this process, you are mending this new relationship with your soul. And it's something along the lines of ancestral. Like, I see this kind of like wise, beautiful, I want to say like quiet woman's energy that is there. And she's nodding and she's smiling and she's like, yes, I see you. And she's quiet. She doesn't say many words. But as she watches everything around her, And as she says her little words, she's so intentional. And what I'm trying to say is like, before we communicate something or we put something into existence, we state our truth. We have to come to the space of our heart and see the beauty of silence brings clarity. I'm not saying to silence someone, it means silence brings clarity. When we can be in that silence and solitude, whether it's in our sleep and we're astral projecting in this new moon into the other ethers, being with the medicine of it in the morning and really meditating with what did my guides, guardians bring me to see? And why are they showing me this? What is the emotion that I feel when I wake up? That's what's going to really support you, right? So when we can mend that together, collectively ask for help. This could be asking help from a mentor. This could be asking help from a friend. This could be asking help in whatever way, right? Asking help to ask yourself how to delegate things. Because sometimes I even find when I do healings with people, it's the biggest thing is like they're taking on too much. And that's creating the definition of peace and happiness, right? They're creating this idea of peace and happiness. But again, with this 12 portal, it's like, wow, I feel so free. I feel so awake. I feel so open. That doesn't have to be something that you have to look for when will it be over, right? It can be a state of existence in every part, in the grief and the pain and everything there is. It's always accessible. But when we divide ourselves, we do not mend those things to reconnect it. And stay with me here. What happens is we start to reject and isolate the world, right? So again, just be really aware on this day, like what is the interactions you're having? What does peace mean to you? What does inner peace mean to you? What does happiness mean to you, right? And I'm not talking about like codependency of someone or someone else, right? Like people can make us happy, but just within yourself, like in your solitude, in your essence, what makes you happy? What makes you excited to live and breathe and be in life, right? That is what's going to foster and create and support your manifestations and to really get you to be clear on that, which is going to support you at the end of this year when we move into the Cancer energy. We then have fork in the road, okay? You're going to have a decision at the end of it, okay? So that decision can be like, how do I say it? After this new moon, so we have the 3 days before the day of and 3 days after. That's when the moon affects us. And also same thing with this 12-12 portal. I'm going to get to the 12-12 portal. Don't worry. When we look at that energy, fork in the road, the fork in the road means like you're going to get to a point where you're going to have to drop what isn't keeping you peaceful and what's not keeping you happy, what's not allowing your soul to thrive. That's not just yet. You won't get that exactly right now. You will most likely get it between the shadow period or after the shadow period, and the next pre-period into leading into the Cancer full moon at the end of this month. So this is a time, thanks for the rose. This is the time to really just like soak it all in, just to be like, define your happiness. Let that come in. Bring your frequency up. This day is heightening your frequency of happiness and inner peace. It's beautiful. I see this like beautiful light star grid. Clean it up. So then once that receives, then you'll be able to clean up what you need to so you can keep your peace. What is that saying that I saw lately on someone was saying that like protect your peace at all costs. 100%. Protect your peace and happiness at all costs. Right? If something in your life is not bringing you happiness, you deciding with free will to create that as your reality, to make it your main thing. Oh, thanks for the love. That is what causes you to like then put that responsibility on the pedestal. Now, of course, we all have responsibility in this earth life, right? There are things we're going to not want to do, right? I know there's certain things that I have to do in order for me to be in service for you, but I know that that's providing me support, right? Like, for example, a lot of people will say, well, paying my bills doesn't make me happy. Well, what if you shifted that abundance? I was talking to my students about this. I'm going to give you a little snippet. I told my students this. I'm going to share this with you guys. It's going to be like, whoa. What if you were to shift that day of the month? Let's say that you get anxiety, that happiness, that inner peace shifts around the last month. I used to have a few friends that I would know the weeks and the specific days every single month where it would be a breakthrough, where they would like feel overwhelmed, where they like, I would know it like clockwork. And you know why? Because they were creating an attachment towards that day of the month. So what they did is they started to change their happiness and inner peace to this day of the month means I need to be stressed about my abundance and that I have scarcity. So you're now coding and spelling that happiness or that reality into I now, Spirit, please give me scarcity on this specific day. Spirit's like, okay, sure. Is that what you want? Right? So that means on the 31st or the 30th of every month, that is the day that I'm coding, I'm claiming to be the stressful day. The first of the month is the stressful day, right? So this is why I'm saying that like there are things that we code to block our own inner happiness and peace. And this day is like a reminder of this fresh air that's like, wait a minute. I have the power to shift that. I have the power to change that. I have the power to move that out of my space, to see, what's not for me, to see and delegate where I need help so I can prosper. If something's working and I'm good at something or you have a gift, what's going to allow you to spend as much time to be happy and be in that frequency to tap into that gift to be abundant? What are you going to do to delegate that? Does that mean that there's a certain day of the week that your partner is picking up the kids? Does that mean that you are having a staycation? Does that mean that you are taking time to have a tea and making a tea ritual every night? That cup of tea means your peace and happiness. And when you sit there, you are venturing within yourself and your soul of presence. And you can let and detach anything that is no longer serving you, right? We code everything. We attach ourselves to meaning, sense, everything. I go over all this through my psychosomatic healings that I do. If you work with me one-on-one, this is what I do. It's like tapping into understanding what did you code into your being. It's not just like healing and Reiki. That's like, I do teach, I'm a master of Reiki, but it's deeper than that. Even some of you guys doing the meditations, you're like, oh, it's meditation. But I always say healing because it is a healing. You're receiving something that is recoding within yourself. So anyways, back to the topic. This is one of the biggest things that you need to know. Now, let's talk about the 1212 portal. Let's wrap it up. I always forget how quick time goes when I'm channeling with you guys. I'm just like, woo. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, it's almost 30 minutes. So let's get into it. I'm just going to read. It's crazy that you talk about how we're programming our life. I just watched a movie, Clicked, last night. And one of the main messages was surrounding by the patterns of programming presence. Yeah, it's everywhere. Hello. It's literally everywhere. It's codings everywhere. Okay, so let's talk about 12, 12, 12. For those on TikTok, guys, tap the screen. YouTube, if you just jumped on, like the video. Takes 2 seconds, brings your whatever energy you put in, you receive. I always say tenfold. So 1212, if we look at the number 1212, we have the energy of action meets the new beginning, right? It is the energy of like happiness. It's the energy of like unforeseeable manifestations and gifts and blessings that come. Let's add the year together. So if we get 1, 2, 1, 2, so we have 6, plus it's 2023. So what are we at? We're at 7. So 6 plus 7, we're at 13. 13 is a master number. What's after 12? 13, right? So now we're seeing the connection between today and tomorrow. So the portal is connecting us between today and tomorrow. Whatever you're receiving here will lead into tomorrow. These 2 days are very important. Mark it in your calendar. 13 is the master number. They say, do you know what? They have like, whatever it's called. What's that thing called? I'm forgetting it. Let me look it up. There's that thing. Oh my God, I'm going to forget. I'm gonna forget. Let me look it up. Give me a second, guys. Oh my God, it's like right there. Friday the 13th. Like right there. Friday the 13th, right? There's like 13. The number, it's a master number as well. So when we look at 12, one is a new beginning, taking action to end the cycle you have currently been in and move into a new cycle, right? Hey, Maddie. Tisha. So funny. But yeah, so that is one of the biggest things, is like tuning into understanding that tomorrow is like a new chapter of growth, positivity, opportunity, awakening, open door, a master opening that's happening. It's a door that's much bigger than you know in that way. But when we look at it, I'm dying. So 12, 13, remember those two numbers, 1, 3, 1, 2, 12, 13, time. Look at those numbers. So if there's any combination between those numbers, ask yourself what is coming up, right? And how is this connected to something I need to see? Wow, signing divorce papers tomorrow, 100%. You are ending a cycle. And I'm not saying that people are like, oh, you're going to divorce papers or break up, blah, blah, blah. Like, it doesn't have to be big like that. It could just be like an ending of something that your soul's been holding on to. And then you just find yourself crying. And then it's like, oh, that was good. Or you find yourself laughing, right? So it's just something that is emotional that may come through for you, that will ignite you, that will empower you to claim your happiness, claim your spirit's peace, claim your ancestral peace. It may be even something that is being shed through you that is a soul contract from your ancestral line. So I feel like it's a very important, keys and doors. I keep saying this a lot. If you hear bells, angels are speaking to you. So just be very aware. Let's pull some cards before I talk to you guys for now. Let me read some. Wow, signing papers, just left my place, immediate resignation. Yeah, so like think about what is ending. If you can just, you don't even have to look for it. When people I ask people, how are you feeling? Sometimes they're like, I'm feeling. I'm like, why are you looking up feel here? Like feeling your body, right? So even as I'm talking to you, like, how are you feeling? What is something that is ending for you today that you are now recognizing, oh my gosh, I'm ending a cycle of, or I'm feeling I'm ending, right? Empty, like void. Void is creation, right? Creating of something. New beginning tomorrow. You're in the void. You're in the waiting room. You're not even in the waiting room. You're in the abyss of the darkness, the great mystery. Something big might be opening up, or it could be just something that you just like have no idea. That's why I tell people, the more you know, the more you don't know. The more I do more healing and supporting people, the more I find out that I actually don't know. And that's just like the funny thing about it. I just laugh the cosmic joke of like, we're here and we want to learn all the things, but the more we know, the more we don't know. Okay, so this is where 1212, it's like removing chaos. Okay, you got the chaos, you got the horse spirit. Horses are one of the most healing beings on this earth plane. I've seen people, have heard people who've gone with horses and like spend time with them, and people who have a hard time of development, they go around horses and their speech goes faster because it changes the nervous system, the programming of the nervous system. Dolphins, same thing. So 3-3, another master number 3 is coming in. This is for 13. So it's like for you to get to the new beginning of the 13th day, which is tomorrow, and the angel number 13, you'll see 13. You'll see a combination of 1, 3. That will give you an understanding of, okay, new beginning has started. Each one's going to be different, right? So when you see the 3, it's like saying, okay, the conflict has shifted. The chaos is let go. I'm surrendering this, and I'm now not creating inner chaos and conflict. Something my teacher said when I first started my healing, and I was just my ego wanted to kick and scream. Like, you know, when kids are like kicking and screaming and they just like, they want to let you know they're mad. They want to rip everything. They're just like that. If you know what I'm talking about, put a laughing emoji. That feeling, if you're replaying, put a laughing emoji. That's the feeling that I got. You know what she said? And now I'm laughing because I get to share this with you. And like, maybe it was going to trigger you just as much as me. And if it does, let me know. But she said, like, Shika, why do you just continue to try to make chaos and conflict in your life so you have something to work on? You have something to heal. You have something to complain or victimize as to why your happiness and peace isn't within yourself. And I was just like, and this card, as soon as I pulled it, it just brought me to that teaching for you guys of like, how many times do we find the wrong in something when something is so right, when everything is so present, when we're supposed to be where we need to be? How many times do we nitpick things because we're told that we have to look at what's wrong with something before what's good with something? right? That could be conditioning through around our surroundings, our environment, but it's like we constantly have that nitpicking that happens, right? That is you creating chaos and conflict. So your soul's just giving you a little, ooh, like we're gonna go to the astral realms and we're just gonna do some work on you, if you allow us, of course. And then also we're gonna bring you these people so you can delegate things and make decisions. But what if the decision's wrong? What if what if they can? Okay, you're finding every way to not make this new beginning and possibility happen. Protect your peace and happiness at all costs. How many times do I have to say that? Do it at all costs, right? Because we have to take the responsibility. Yes, that word, power. And now I can say it because I truly agree with it. With great power comes responsibility. You know, I grew up with the masculine, the men in my family saying that. It's true. With great power comes responsibility. Why is responsibility sent bad, right? It just means that we're taking the responsibility to be in our hearts and to be in integrity and to be in truth. So that truth means what part of you is moving out of that and creating chaos and conflict as your truth, creating chaos and conflict as your happiness. Sagittarius is like, let's travel a little bit to the astrals and show you that there's something a little bit bigger than what you know. And let's not reject it this time. Let's take it in. And as I say this, the rain is pouring outside. I hope you guys can hear me because I have the AC going and then also the rain. This is where you need to understand that, right? Accountability, yes. This is where you need to understand that. And like I said, I can preach it to you, I can share it with you, I can channel it. There's thunder hitting right now. Thunder is thunder angels. So they're connecting with you, the energy of thunder. It's like, listen, like this is like a blessing, the deepest prayer. So it is. Like this is so it is, right? I can't believe I just saw that thunder. I felt it move in my body. I don't know if you guys felt the energy. Let's move into 13 and that 12-12. Is there anything else that we need to know about the 12-12 portal? I feel so vulnerable and just peace of everything. I don't know my old me anymore, but that's the beauty, the power of not knowing who you are so you can rediscover what your happiness is. And this is like a very powerful space because when you do healing, when you do work, when you go through a divorce, like one of you have shared, when you go through a big change, whatever that change was that came through for you, what that is giving you an opportunity to be in that void so you can recreate it. And then people have choices. They can go back to what they know and make that the chaos and conflict and make that their truth, or they can go into a completely different direction that you don't even know, right? So I just want to share that with you guys. How do you continue to stay positive when things continue to go against you? By saying that what parts of yourself is going against me too, or what parts of my environment, what relationships are going against me, right? Or what relationships, can't even speak, what relationships do I feel is going against me, right? One of the biggest things that really helps me heal is like I started to see like the people that I didn't really like the most, or the people that really triggered me, were my biggest medicine, because I started to see that whatever they're triggering me is something that maybe I have an uncomfortable feeling around that emotion, and I let it bother me. I hold that grudge, I hold that resentment. And then again, it's actually just being energy draining. Like people talk about energy drainers, like people and energies, but there's also like what people don't talk about is our self energy draining, which is our thoughts, which is the way we talk, which is like what we decide to be our truth. So there's a difference between those three. There's people, there's energies, and then there's also yourself that we can subconsciously not even be aware of. And then when we do that recoding, we're like, woof, okay, you know. Okay, let's see what cards we have left. And then we will close the reading. Okay, so never ending story. You guys asking the questions. I love this because at this point of this reading, you guys are probably feeling, oh my gosh, she's saying all the things. There's a lot coming up. Or maybe there's just like all the emotions. But when you're saying never ending stories, like, oh, what if I'm not this? What if that? How do I do this? That's the human mind. How do I? That's great. Like, what someone used to say, I heard this. That's great, dear. But however, and I'm saying this to your ego, never ending story is like that voice in our head that is telling us that we have everything wrong, that we're not happy, that we need more of something, that we're not peaceful, that if we do this, that this will happen. that voice doesn't exist. So when you let that voice say that what that voice is saying doesn't exist, let it surrender. How much of you right now, as you're receiving that it doesn't exist, is attaching but whatever that but is, that's what you got to work with. That's what you need to pour the love and the happiness into for today and face and end it. Like, let that go. Right? It's an interesting new moon because it's like this new beginning of so much, right? It's one of my friends said she had a birthday and a lot of people showed up and she cried because she was so overwhelmed with all the love that everyone was giving her. And she just like was like, I don't know what to do with this love. And I was like, just take it all in. You don't have to do anything. You know, there's sometimes when we receive something so good, we're like, do we need to do something? Do I need to do something to give back? Do I need to do something? No, you can just be. And let me tell you, when I'm just being, that's when everything works for you. So any question of like how the thoughts of when you can just be, like I said, with solitude and silence, there is such clarity that is beyond anything you know. Then you can act into the new beginning. But when you're just acting out of a place of like scarcity or out of a place of like feeling like you can't communicate or your needs are like, that's where we make decisions not that aren't our own, but we also allow our energy to run on the basis of our environments and our relationships. And then we find ourselves lost. So yeah, just remember that voice that is telling you all these things, that voice is literally, it's not anything. It's nothing, but you've made it something. And this new moon and this 12/12 portal is making you realize, wow, it's not something I can let it go. I can drop it and I can absorb that big party that all my cosmic beings and my benevolent ancestors and angels are just like, they're turning up. They're excited for you. They're like, we're ready. We're so ready. Like, I know that you're grieving, or for some of you, but I know you're kind of like wondering what happens if I let this go? And they're like, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. If you let this go, you are going to be more okay than you know, you know? And it can be hard to say that if we've never accessed that. It can be overwhelming. But whatever that is for any of you that need to hear this, you're going to be more okay than you know. And it's going to make you feel so relieved. Last card. Lost my card here. Here and now. Okay. What did I say? Be present. I didn't even look at the card. It was like flipped. Future, past, right? Tuning into being here now. What is pulling you out of the present? Is it the past that you want to change? That did feel like it took away some happiness and inner peace. Remember, protect your peace and happiness at all costs. Obviously with your heart, but with all costs, right? We don't want to just go out there and hurt people, but like with all costs. Is it the future of not having control over certain things? What if I don't know? When you start to ask things in the future, it's like the feeling that we don't have control of anything, you know? Morbid, but I'm a Scorpio, so I'm going to say this, they have this saying here in the Caribbean when they say that like when God comes to your door, a creator comes to your door and they say it's time to go, it's time to go. And some of us are kicking and screaming and we want to be like, but it's like this life experience we have is actually just kind of training us for the transition of ultimate enlightenment in ourselves. And I don't want to say enlightenment lightly, not for all of us, but for us to just ignite to that light of being, right? So this training, this playground of human life is to teach us that at the end of the day, right, what we're putting so much energy around, the past and the future, really means absolutely nothing. We make it mean something more than it should be. But when we can tap into happiness and peace, we can really understand what is for us and what is not. So we can run away. All this control, all this negative thoughts is ways for us to get out of the presence. And it's actually making us feel like time is going. It's actually making us believe that we have now lost something. And then when we come to that point of transition, we feel like we've never really lived. We've only lost. The choice is yours. The abundance of happiness and the abundance of peace is there to pour in you 100-fold and some. But if we're holding on to things, this is where we lose our own essence and we give so much. There's this video of this person where they're like on the screen and they're like watching everyone and what they're doing. And it's like Then the time of transition comes and they're like, what did I live for? What did you live for? Sagittarius new moon is like, you have an adventure of living. Life is the adventure. Life is what you're waiting for. Life is the clarity. Life is just being in the present moment. Take a moment, go outside, feel the air. Like that moment is more valuable than you having $100,000. If everyone was able to experience that, they would feel that. What is freedom? Freedom of peace and happiness is really the key. It's the door. It's the $1 million question. I can tell you that. So when we can tap into what makes me happy, what makes me at peace, universe has no choice but to support you in all of that and some. But you got to choose it. You got to choose to not be in control of your relationship so your partner can pour tenfold into you. You got to choose to believe that the friends that you are now letting go of this 12th portal and this new relationship and community is going to be there for you in tenfold, and that you won't be alone because you're shifting your consciousness and healing for the greater good. You got to choose that your gifts that are here to help that each and every single one of us have. Everyone has gifts. That the ones that are really understanding it and aware of it, that you trust that your gifts is here to be flourished. And that thought of what if people think this, what if this community thinks this, blah, 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 that doesn't exist. Every objection is a block to your own freedom of being, freedom of happiness, freedom of peace. And the only one that has that responsibility is here, ourselves. So this day and this conversation I'm having with you and this connection that we're having, this exchange we're having, is to hopefully remind you that the 12-12 portal, the energy of 12 is this growth, abundance, opportunity, optimization. And it's beyond anything we know, and it's ready to hold you. Are you ready to be held? Bringing you back to the comfort and the holding of the womb and such loving, tender, being held by that mending hands, loving hands of every single feminine that has walked and graced this earth beyond time can tell, connecting you to nurturing yourself through happiness and peace will come for you right now through this day. It is the consciousness that is beyond anything that you've seen that you reject, but yet it is always there and shows up for you time and time again. So don't abandon yourself. The only thing you can do is be open to it and be consciously aware to receive it. Because you can say, I'm open to it. I'm open to the help. I trust. Trusting is acting on it. Trusting is living it. Trusting is breathing it, right? You don't trust your manifestation if you're here still waiting and wondering if it could fail. Nothing ever fails. It just evolves. Take that and run with it. Nothing ever fails. It just evolves. Everything is an evolution opportunity of something that will open up for you. You got to shift whatever believes otherwise. And that's what's going to bring you that, protect you, help you protect that peace and happiness beyond anything you know. So you are a walking evolution of yourself and your soul and your spirit. And this day is a day of like seeing that evolution and knowing that you can just let that go, whatever it is, and step into this new energy, this new beginning, this new adventure, and show up for it. Right? Biggest thing, like showing up. Because at the end of the day, like life is going to continue to be oceans. And the oceans don't stop waving. Waters don't stop flowing. Water is eternal. Right? So whatever your relationship with water is a representation of that. Fire, Sagittarius, right? Fire is respected in the transmission of channeled message to Father Sky Cosmos. The smoke, it goes and then it disappears. Seen to unseen, it's a connection beyond the both places. So when we look at that, we ask ourselves, Where are we trusting that the smoke is still there going up into the sky and our manifestation is given to what it needs to be given to, so it can come back to us tenfold into the field? That is you trusting your fire. So I'll leave it there because I can go on and on forever. I'm going to see if the cards have one more thing, and then I'm going to share the big announcement with you guys. I'm so excited. I'm beyond excited. Okay. We got one card. One card. Okay. Elephants mean luck and luck. But they also have by the book, 1111. We got 11 here. So new beginning, another number to write down. We have 3 generations. I'm going to point out, I always point out things that are calling. So 3 generations. You are included. You're the small little baby elephant here. Then you got your mother and your grandmother. Then you got your father and your grandfather. Things have been done a certain way. Happiness and peace was told to be maybe in a way of the way you worked hard, the way that you showed up in the world. The way that you're showing up with happiness and peace isn't a way that has been done before ancestrally. What by the book is saying that don't compare what happiness and peace was from your family, but rather see how has it evolved up to your generation. Because their idea isn't less than or more than, right? I come from a lineage of farmers, herbalists, gardeners. I'm very proud of it now. Before I was not. And, one thing that I've learned is their hard work and dedication has showed them commitment. And it's taught me a lot of how do I commit to my own self? Because no one else is going to commit to you if you don't commit to self. So there are parts of the story of our ancestors that are very much our own. But we need to ask ourselves, how has that evolved within us? Because we are a reincarnation of our ancestors, whether we have a direct connection with it in the physical or not. So one of the biggest things with the by the book is saying that here, things have been done a certain way and now they've changed. What is the new definition that is running through the bloods of your veins, of the waters of your veins, of your ancestral lineage of happiness and peace? What is the story that you are deciding to shift and move through and believe in? And that story has to start with you. I want to read this book because it's so good. This one, because it's so good. Okay, 11. Abiding by social rules, universal law, cultural, and family customs. So maybe noticing what are some customs, beliefs, maybe even cultural judgments that have avoided or maybe suppressed or you believed suppressed your inner fire. Here it's saying, hey, wait a minute. We got to look at that. It's not true, but what is true? See and look and believe in that space. Law of prayer is understanding that even though our family and our ancestors 3 generations did it differently, 2 generations, including yourself, there's 3, but 2 generations before, and again, 3, 13, the numbers just keep on coming. There is something that is here for you to understand that the law of attraction, the law of karma, the law of compensation, the law of nature, everything weaves back to you. So when you start to recode and respell it, recreate it in the world through your words, through your actions, through your embodiment, that is also giving them permission to do the same, whether deceased or not, whether transitioned or not. So here it's really understanding that, opening your eyes to the universal laws, and it is easier to go back to the book at this time. There's a lot of wisdom that you need to look at, I think, ancestrally. This is a very makes sense. I can see why Spirit wanted me to channel this to you guys on the land. So tuning into that, getting along with your entail understanding and respecting who they have become and the results of the environment and culture. So what made your family and your ancestors, your grandparents, the way they are? What was their surrounding? What was their belief? Those environments, even though we're not in that environment, it still does something to our coding, right? We still live by that environment without being in that environment, without being part of that generation, right? But when we start to absorb and listen to the stories of our elders, we start to see and get to know a bigger pan of why we are who we are. One of my favorite things of being back here is being able to hear my great uncle, my grandmother, and my siblings as well, my family, not my siblings, but they feel like siblings. They're my cousins. My siblings, I will call them siblings, my brothers, my sisters, their stories. Because when I hear their stories, I'm like, wow, okay, I can see why this relates to me. I can see why I'm coded the way I am. So those are what the Wisdom of the Oracle. I know you guys always ask me, which deck do you use? This is Wisdom Oracle. This deck has been with me for ages, and I love it so much. It's such a good deck. I also have other ones, but they didn't come out today. They didn't come out to play. Okay, so I want to share this announcement with you guys. I'm really excited and share and just bring you into a story. But let me know down below before I go into the announcement how you're feeling for this 12/12 portal. What's coming up for you? Just us weaving, receiving this healing, receiving this channel. And replay, same thing. So, as you guys know, I was in Brazil for the Earth Dharma, and it was such a beautiful experience. I'm still receiving so much medicine from the lands. And as I was receiving this medicine, receiving the messages, it was probably on day 4. And that day was a very potent day for them. They were really going through some deep unweaving, detachment, triggers on this day. And that specific day, I woke up after doing a Kundalini activation with a snake enchanting on my window in the jungle. Beautiful green snake. We had eye contact and eye gaze for 5 to 10 minutes as they moved and charmed with its Kundalini, and feeling me activated, it probably sensed my energy. So as I breathed with the snake, channeling and connecting with it fully here, this channeled message comes into the middle of the jungle. And as I've talked to you guys before, like one of my biggest intentions for this community, as I love it online, is also to bring it in person and to root it back to Indigenous wisdom, to cultural wisdom for a lot of lost cultures and, tribes that have such medicine to offer, but it's not being preserved. And I'm seeing that weaving more and more in my work, more and more in my teachings, more and more in my channel messages and the way that I teach. So I also am aware that we had 3 years, and this is also part of, I guess it's weaved into the channel message, where a lot of you went through an awakening. And if you did go through an awakening in the past, I want to see 3 to 4 years, let me know down below with a white heart emoji and let me know how that awakening was for you, even if you see the replay. What was that awakening like? What did you experience? Because, one of the biggest channel messages that the elements have been sharing with me is there's a lot of people that are feeling the energy of the world and the earth and the consciousness that's shifting. And it's overwhelming. And there's this awakening, so many transitions that are happening, and they sense and they feel like, oh, I want to help the earth, but I don't know if I'm ready yet, or I'm just at the beginning, or I still want to learn more about my shadow work and healing, right? And I think a lot of people are feeling that. It's like, I'm unsure, I don't know. And that's okay. But what really helps is having community. What really helps is having the tools to support you and to be able to have access to that. So with that, I had this channeled message on the second day after that weaved into the afternoon of this beautiful offering to offer to a select few souls that want to do this in Canada. And a lot of what I'm doing in the back end is to really support Indigenous. And I'm going to share more with you guys soon. There's a lot that is coming up. I'm just like, wow, I don't even know. Like, it's kind of, it gets me emotional talking about it because a lot has been weaving faster than I've ever imagined. So with that, good, it's good though. I've poured my heart into this beautiful offering. Give me a second. Was not expecting the tears. This beautiful offering, and it's with, let me clear my throat. Oh, with great, 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 great honor to be welcoming the doors, opening the doors with you guys to the Divine Dharma Training Retreat. Oh, yeah, it's out. Wow. It's funny. I never felt anything until I started connecting with you guys. This is a beautiful program with a lot of heart into it. And it's for souls that have recently gone through a big shift. They're at the beginning of their journey and they want to help, but maybe they're not ready to go full on. Maybe they're not ready. And as I was meeting a lot of you guys the past 2 years, and even during the Earth Dharma applications, I saw that you were where you were. I was seeing your timeline and I was like, wow, I can see what you need support on. And it opened this up. It opened even deeper what I received in Brazil, which is the Divine Dharma training program. So this program is happening in person. It's a retreat and a training, and it's happening in Quebec, Canada. I've the beautiful place. It's actually on over 100 acres of land. I did the Earth Dharma initiation on this land, and I am with great hearts. I'm so excited, so happy to be able to invite you to this very special place that I call a little bit of home. And it's on the lakes in Quebec and in Canada. And it will be from June 16th to the 24th, 2024. This is going to be a space where you're going to be experiencing plant medicine. So, we're going to be connecting with herbal medicine, Kambo medicine. I'll be teaching you how to smudge. I'll be teaching you how to clean and clear your energy. I'll be teaching you an introduction of chakra systems, teaching you how to connect with yourself, understanding and integrating, helping you integrate your spiritual awakening. You are going to open and unlock your sensations, awareness of your inner gifts. Everyone's gifts are different. Some people have dream gifts, some people have gifts to hear things, see things. And maybe you're someone that you're like, I don't know what my gifts are, Shika. Like, I don't, any of what you're talking about doesn't resonate. This is still a space for you. Everyone has it. Sometimes what happens is we block it because certain things happen. And as children, we're open to so much. So we get to connect to that, and you get to do that in a medicine ceremony as well. So I am so excited. You also get to do community. We're going to have a cacao ceremony together. And we will also be really connecting with the beautiful guardians of the indigenous on that space, as well as it's close to a reserve. So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm so honored to be doing this. I'll also be teaching you Reiki 1, which I think is a great tool just to have for helping you and really teaching you how to self-soothe yourself and healing, how to understand your awakening, how to learn your gifts for yourself and start activating them within you to maybe do that just by being a walking ceremony for other people. How to not feel alone, integrating. I'm also going to have an integration Zoom call that we'll have after the retreat. There's also going to be an orientation before where we get to meet each other on Zoom. And I go over everything from like how to prepare for the retreat and training. What you walk away with is being able to learn how to heal yourself and being to start healing yourself, how to really work into that space and to weave and understand where you are on your timeline and your awakening. Yeah, so it's a beautiful, beautiful journey, and I really, really can't wait to share this with you guys and to be here with you guys. And you can tell I'm like with the emotions. It's like with great honor. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Next steps for applying. So Shika, I like want to do this. So there's two things. One, a couple more announcements to get drum roll, drum roll. Number one, applying. Shika, I want to learn. I want to like get to know more about this. I'm feeling the pull. Like this portal is like calling me into it. What do I do next? So down below in the description on TikTok, you guys will see that my link tree, it's there as well. You will find the application form. So it is a Google form. You take a moment, get some tea, get some cacao, give yourself a space, maybe light a candle, maybe get some agua florida, like make it a ceremony. I always say that every program I do, I make it ceremonial because for me, you are ceremonial. So you take that intention, and that intention is going to fold tenfolds into you. And it's so beautiful to witness. So you can do and fill out the form. Will be about 15 minutes. Please write, tell me your story, share with me. What do you want to receive from this? How can I support you so I can really make sure it's a good fit? This is very important for me. So go deep. I have some people that are like, Shika, should I write a lot of? Yes, please. Like, tell me, walk me through what you're looking for, what you're gaining, what made you come to this space. Like, just feel free. The second thing is I will then look at your application. And once I have looked at your application, I will make a decision based on that. And then you will be receiving an email on the next following steps for those who feel aligned. So yeah, it's beautiful. I'm creating an early energetic exchange for the retreat. I'm really excited for that. So for those of you who do apply and get accepted before January 4th, you end up getting an energetic exchange off of the actual retreat. So I will share that information more for those who are accepted, but for those who are wanting to, I'm offering this store so everyone can have access to it, as many people as possible. And I'm just really excited. So yeah, that's the big announcement. Divine Dharma training retreat in Canada, Quebec, Canada, this June during the moon as well. Like, can I just say we're having it during the moon? So it's going to be working and revolving around working with the moon cycle. We're going to be having ceremony and a specific ceremony on moon cycle. I'll go over all that with the applicants as well. So yeah, there's that. And for those of you who maybe aren't ready to go into this learning how to heal yourself and eventually to support with others, maybe you want to go into the retreats. I have medicine retreats that are happening in March in Portugal, Ancestral and the Goddess retreat. You can have a look at that. Feel free to ask any questions on that. Email list, you guys have a full breakdown of that. And I'm also have my one-on-ones as well. If that's something that you're interested in, you can apply down below if you want more of an in-depth one-on-one connection and support. And I really weave over 7 years of ancient practices as I work with you one-on-one in an hour and a half practice, healing biweekly. It's so beautiful. I only take like 1 or 2 people at a time because it is such a potent space, and you have an opportunity to go deep dive with me in 3 months or in 6 months, whatever feels good to you. So all that is in my link tree, and yeah, I'm so grateful. So for those of us who are on medication, we'll be able to still do the training without the medicine. 100% what I do for those who are on medication is we actually have a consultation, and we go over, like, for me, it's more important to make sure that you can sit with the medicine safely. Like, it's so crucial. And you will see in the application, I actually ask you more about your history as well. So go over that. And if it changes, you let me know. But there is a protocol to sitting with medicines, and there should be. So when you go through the orientation, I go over the whole protocol with you as well. What you should eat, what you shouldn't eat, what to cut out, all that stuff. And the reason why you're doing this is this is a way spiritually to dedicate your energy and dedicate your, I'm going to cough, dedicate your, showing your dedication to your ceremony, showing your dedication to your healing. And it's also going to allow the Campbell to really go deep and go into the healing as well as the other medicines that we were working with in the ceremony. So yeah, that's a little bit more about the process. But yeah, and it also depends on the medication you're on, what your reasons are. I go over all that. And that's why we do a medical form as well. So yeah, this is so important. Oh, Mahina, so nice to see you. Aloha. Yeah, so I will leave it at that. I'm just still on a high receiving, having an amazing channel message with you guys, collective reading, channeling with you in the island. Like, it just feels so good to be here, to be connected to you guys here. I'll see you in the application for the Divine Dharma and for the other offerings that feel aligned. And on the next video, feel free to share whatever feels good to you down below. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, share with your friends. share. And oh, thanks so much, Rahina. Yeah, so much to catch you guys up. Earth Dharma students, all the Earth Dharma students coming in, so much to share. And community, so much to share with you guys. What's coming up next year is going to be, but for now, I'll leave you at that and just bask and marinate in all those things. Okay. I love you so much. I'm wishing you the best blessings. And I will see you guys in the next one. Have a happy 12/12 portal and a beautiful Sagittarius new moon. Blessings and abundance to you. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.